beka ho ensem na yatena sinsem de bade di makote ebi enese MPP amanyokuo no dom kuma wa mrahye dwam se yomwanwa se OSP HS eye kane foto samfo wura foriata wayira ehwe na yehu no
na edom kese wo mrahye bedwafie e de chew pasronko akwama owura ken no foriata se enano abambofo bi omoye asojafo ko ni fie koye ne omope
MPP amanyokuo nche so omdwen ho monte ase se obi beka se owura oforiata wayira ehwe na yehu no chese saasem no de omdwen ho a Office of the Special Prosecutor kasa ye no wan kasa yi osamre biem
na asante hene otumfo se tutu otoso mienu e dia todwa se Ghana ye ngomesua ne be ya yenyan se de ye amanyosem no ne emoa ma entimi entumpon
woni se mi na nyumre ya tena se nyumre no ndubu kase bo sanso de breso e be twin come ka say this way chocolate drink afi no adu fie edidi e be den se obedi fufu bedi banku na mum onum this way ni bia obeda benya hoden se obi a odidi pepepe sanso na special mineral water yesu papa na onuma eboa wenum ena so ase yere kaseboy ebro medin edi anim ado meni
abana beyi nyano
eri kan ye dan ye ni edi akọ mrahye bedwo na odu mrahye bedwo dom kuma no edi nsem atudwa se nansen ena Office of the Special Prosecutor edi nsem betudwa se owura kan foriata kan foto samfo no omohwe na omu ehu no wayira enti yapa no suhwenhwe na no mchese wori omdwe ho omonte ase esanse owura foriata onu na di nsawoso wa kire bebi owo de krata aba so hwera pom de husem tie ba ne sen na Office of Special Prosecutor eka sansem no e de akire papa yi.
The reckless abuse of power executed under full military backing signal a disturbing shift towards authoritarian governance, where brute force is now replacing the process and political replacing due process, and political witch hunts are being disguised as security operations. It is nothing short of a state-orchestrated assault on individual freedoms and an alarming escalation in the abuse of powers. Similarly, on Monday, 3rd February 2025, the residence of Lord Comey, former Director of Operations at the Jubilee House, was raided with his vehicle unlawfully seized. Former Minister of Defense, Honorable Dominic Nitiwo, was also targeted as security operatives chased him down and forcibly took possession of his vehicle while it was at a workshop. For such incidents to occur under a government that once vehemently condemned the use of military force in political matters or for political ends is not only the height of hypocrisy, but also a shameful betrayal of democratic principles. The very leaders who cried foul over what they claim to be military intimidation while in opposition are now wielding state power in an even more reckless and tyrannical manner. This is not governance. It is a hostile takeover, reminiscent of regimes that thrive on suppression, intimidation, and fear. The OSP, subsequent to the raid, has also, without recourse to law and due process, announced at a press conference that he considers Mr. Oforiatta a suspect and a fugitive. This is shocking, when no charges have even been proffered against the former finance minister.
Na edom kese wo mrahye bedwafie e de chew pasronko akwama owura ken no foriata ewonia nano ebnada esiye ewonifie omususu asojafo bi ekohokoye nea omo epe na omoba no dani owura Mahama Ayarega echiremu se de course no de antwaye na omobehwese bibisa NCBM wochira enhwehwemu omoyeye no eden di se Richard Japa ene di animu ma asade no course nti ombehwe se de beya omode niema betuye ama entiase ayedwuma.
Mr. Speaker, we have investigated the matter, and we want to say and assure our fellow countrymen and our colleagues in this House that we have received assurances from the Office of the National Security Coordinator that it was not intended that that should happen, and that occurrence is most regrettable and unfortunate, and he wants to give this House his word and assurance that a thing like that should never happen again. Mr. Speaker, I have also spoken with the Minister of Interior, who has spoken with his IGP, and I've spoken with the Minister of Defense, and all of them give their assurance to this House that a thing like that will not happen again. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me indicate to my colleagues on the other side that this side of the House remain committed to ensuring that this country is reset, that its institutions function properly, that its officials act in accordance with the law, and that the rights and liberties of every citizen are upheld and protected under the regime of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I personally extend my apologies to the former Minister of Finance, and I believe that this should suffice. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yet once on also another so ewo kane for the some for ensem na MPP amanyo konche se Office of the Special Prosecutor body ne ho ya pa na no bi asia nya de a omote ase yi esan se eba de sen na kane for the some for okase ni pe ayira opena wo no MPP for chese asema esi no obodi ho ya pa.
If there is anything against any past government official, due process must be followed. And I'm sure all of us will have peace. My respected colleague, extend to His Excellency the President of the Republic the assurances of the minority that with this we will also accord him every courtesy due him as President of the Republic. We would cooperate and oppose when we have to oppose. After all, our duty is to oppose you. And we can work together as a people to represent our people and for our people to learn from us and to teach us and to train us and to help us to advance this democracy. I want to conclude, Mr. Speaker, by saying that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, as at this morning, I had an extensive engagement with him. He's traumatized by the labeling of this adjective described to his person. But he still knows that his God is with him. He's undergoing some medical procedure. In fact, I had an early morning engagement with the Chief of Staff, who confirmed that indeed Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta wrote to him and is in receipt of the letter. He was very sincere in telling me that. So within reasonable time, I'm sure he would come. I will also engage the Office of the Special Prosecutor, engage constructively, assure him and his office that if there was any miscommunication, I, as a leader of my side, is assuring him that the man will make himself available. He left the country with permission. He would come, and if there is anything that has to be investigated, he will make himself available.
Na Ora Ken Ofori-Atta ho nsensema amane ho ministry na MPP domfrefo Ora Henry Nanabuachi hdemu say kwaya OSP esifaka asem no said your penny wa sheda no de ne ho akanwira no ento asomukran to obesre say ye montungu.
Yesterday, Mr. Kisie Jabin held a press conference and declared Ken Ofori-Atta, the former Minister of Finance, a fugitive from justice. It is baffling that a special prosecutor, a lawyer, and a law lecturer could make such basic mistake in labeling a person of interest who has not been charged and remains in contact through his lawyers as a wanted individual or a fugitive. Once Mr. Ofori-Atta's doctors declare him fit and healthy, he will return to the country. Until then, the special prosecutor should avoid making sensational statements, provoking public emotions, and creating drama over the matter that could have been adequately resolved through correspondence. If you label your former finance minister as a fugitive, which indeed is not so, what you mean is that it is a national embarrassment. It amounts to national embarrassment.
Yatwanse no so na yekodom kuma wo mrahye no mkyerese omanya ntie se National Intelligence Bureau NIB4 atonsa e de afre nsawma drogi mrahye ni owura anodom pe no mkyerese ensem okokekaye e bra okwabele kuma no ofno mu nse eyensem bia eboro so se tonsa e de frɛ no
na yen the New Patriotic Party yen tena ho magana fo entwa dwadwo sa obi bia opese onamra kwan so no okobia ne tanachi me a megina hayi ene ye ma lawyer for court omode asem na kodu court da bi opani mahama ene onoano chief of staff enye mra kwan so ene omonam no na omo nso a asem ya kan omo ye nuanom asem ya kan omo anka omo ko police omo ko military omo ko immigration omo ko prison asem ya kan omo omo nso kan humom na ne also mo ye bi omo nye oye kire kra omo nye omo ma chi no omo fa nko yewra mahama ho omo fa petition koma no se omo so ye Ghana for se bi omo mfiri Burkina omo mfiri Togo omo mfiri Ivory Coast omo mfiri Nigeria Ghana here no omo mfiri no omo so ye Ghana for yewra mahama o promise say oba so be the father for all anameboa sa pepepe nti ene de ne bae ai ne baba o pamo Ghana for o menye adwuma
Yeko Asante Mantemu na abra ukude afahye ne koso no e na Asante hene otumfo se etuto otoso mienu e de tu dwase wo show man Ghana se de yenwumasua no ye no amanyosem na emmoa ema eho ani so adehunu no entimi mmem to besre se emfa ho ne aban sesan ye beba na sa aban foforo beba de no wo so no de wo hye ase na ebo anwumasua bia no so ba wonto aso na emmoa
Asante hene His Royal Majesty otumfo se tutu otoso mienu ekire omai Ghana ehia de friends National Educational Policy na je senhye pa ba kwa ejina brania aban bia ba obedi so esense ebesesa no ebasa na omai no ngomasua no ase tutu na se ama eniema agiegu ayebisi basa wode nsem nyina tudwa ebra na enra wukue eya wukudenti na wo hye ho fa wokumase a eno wo Asante Mantem emu enwode to Ghana dihye nyina enim se NDC abanfofra waba His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edi enim samampani omai ni nyina ntai na chititru eba enwomasua fama se de ebeya obetimi apagya enwomasua ede akogina de kron na somfa so no ebi aka omai ni nyina
mesra ne se amanyosem no we free adesua mu na mo ya hye se free na krose ni ye no obi aba no onsesa no ne ye de sa ekọ na ye kama abanfofro ya kan obi emu wati committee na ye nyina wasi ya church mu ni ehunu mo so na mo wo mu na koda na bia wo mu amuna monim e fom ho no de na achia mo nkam ye ebe drum film senior high school no de na achia mo nkam ye hu na ye si ebie mu asa ebusa sa de na ye ya hwe ni anka ni ye na se ye betin no ni antin no e se di paswa e betin ho sa metron for kan ye ko school wo mu na ye be koda ni ho na aduan ni si ene ye se asesa school no and no be corner no upon no edinta mo na mo wo mu amohunu akokora me tie me ko school no bi se me huna de kro de mo hunu no mo ntro mra na so de ba ne de fa so be yi ne nyina de ano ya ka bia mo na mo betintim krata bia so ye be hu se na mo abrɛ me kopi na mo maka wo no de mo de brem na me kan an mehu ye wo mu a yɛtene no be na me so me yɛka me de mano ato mama.
Penny Kwanchefo hwe ngomasia so wasante mantem Dr. William Amankra Apia enso edi sei na tudwa.
There were interventions bebre. Ebi ni say all districts in Ashanti region 200 days of reading. Apart from so no ye were nyoma ye deboa less students amuntumi ye were remedial classes for them and yenyiska. And now ba secondary schools no so problems e wo ho no schools no aform e say untumi ready a omo form e kire wo ready ansa na wa ba beka the main class no ho sa nyoma we mu na ye so that intervention e boam education economy adwuma ye dia hye yense we are doing all that we can for God and country. She said, and say, yeah, man, yeah, ma quality of education, teacher welfare, and at putting your nyoma into the system. So, teacher for records, so bibia, and yafe now be free. We are putting all this together so that ejumano welfare of the teachers will be enhanced. Na ejumano timie tumpo.
Abusuafo ye gina hane ahome kase ebo so abasisi aye ba ye de nkomodwetwe no ebeto aso amamo empanyifo ahodo bia na omo ho nsem ebo court asese aban lawyer panyi adrope omo charges ni nyina no wodi nchiremu abani nti a oye saade no ye kwaba na ya twetwe ho enkomo.